Welcome and welcome back. It's another amazing day in paradise. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, February 16th. It is video 3 in this installment that I have renamed, that I have been inspired to rename. It's not just my billet doux to children, youth, and young adults. It's actually my billet doux to parents, children, youth, and young adults. Because what I realized is that I'm always advocating, like when in advocating for children, you can't just advocate for children alone because they're not alone. They're not at their own system. They come with parents, or at least they should, right? And so this is my love letter to parents as well, to invite them into this experience and collaboration so that we can collectively make the future better for our children. Yeah, and so it's longer and it's okay because it's just the title of a series that's not going to last forever. The idea is that we're going to get some information and we're going to get some action plan. We're putting together an action plan. We have an action plan, and that the two are going to go hand in hand. But today, for this particular segment, which is Educate the Vote, I wanted to talk a little bit about local organizations that you can get involved with, and also just some things that you can do in order to get more involved with the city. And so from the city standpoint, the first thing you can do is you can go to the City of Raleigh website, and you can type in subscriptions. I think that's what it's called, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't check this before I recorded, but that's okay. Or you can type in city newsletters, and it will take you to this whole page where you can subscribe to as many departments as you want. Like, there are newsletters that come out of every department, and you can subscribe to as many as you want so that you can know what's going on in the city. That's one thing. The second thing is the classes that the city offers. We have Citizens Leadership Academy, we have Raleigh Neighborhood College, we have Planning Academy, and they are just starting their second cohort of the Community Police Academy. And so those are 4 courses that the city offers for free. And with Citizens Leadership Academy, you learn about ways that you can engage with the city as a leader, how you can become a leader, different like leadership styles and different things of that nature. Raleigh Neighborhood College was super cool because you get to meet and engage and learn about the different departments within the city, and engage with staff and stuff like that. So that's really cool. In fact, for Raleigh Neighborhood College, when if you do the live version, they actually take you to the firefighters training center, and you get to, engage with the firefighters one-on-one there, which is really cool. Planning Academy gives you kind of like an overview of what it's like to try to plan to build something in Raleigh, a history of planning and things of that nature. And so that one's really cool. I haven't done the Community Police Academy. It's the only one I haven't done, but it's new. They just started it in the fall. They just put out applications for this next cohort, which starts in March. And so just be on the lookout for that if you want to get involved in that way. Then another thing that I wanted to talk about was community organizations that you can get involved in. One of them is, oh my goodness, there's so many. Most importantly, I will state, I feel is the most important organization to get involved in, and that's the CACs. It's the Citizens Advisory Councils. The Citizens Advisory Councils were the one reason why Raleigh has won an All-American City Award back in 1975. It's been 50 years since we've won this award. And so I think it is quite amazing that under the previous mayor, they were dismantled unexpectedly during COVID, if I'm not mistaken. And then last year, one of our city council members, who was a co-chair of the CAC, of her local CAC, or chair of her local CAC, if I'm not mistaken, is Christina Jones. She worked tirelessly to get them reestablished. And finally, 5 years after they had been dismantled, they were reestablished. It took a while to figure out what they were going to look like, but they are part of the Raleigh Engagement Network, which is a network of small nonprofit organizations that can receive a little bit of support from the city, not necessarily financial, but more like access to places to hold a meeting or and different things of that nature. It's under the community engagement department, and so it was just recently, within the last month or so, that Taisha Hinton, who is the head of the community engagement department, she is the one that did a presentation to council about how the CACs were moving forward. So that is important. Like, if there's an organization that you should become a part of, there is none more grassroots than the CACs, the Citizens Advisory Councils. Other organizations are Livable Raleigh. I particularly like being involved with what they do, or at least getting their weekly newsletters, because they keep me up to date on what things happen during the city council meetings. And also they do a complete calendar of events of everything that's going on, or a lot of things that are going on from the city perspective, or things that might impact our city councilors. Like, they posted about the candidates forums that the Hillsborough Wade CAC did, and also the Power Up candidates forum, which is not necessarily something that's coming from the city, but obviously is impacting the city and our city leadership. And so I like to receive their newsletters for that information update. There's also Raleigh Forward, which does a lot around housing and keeping you updated on things that really surround housing mostly. And they also share articles from things that are going on in other parts of the country, which is really kind of neat, because you can compare, you can say, well, why aren't we doing this in Raleigh, And so that is something that I really appreciate about that organization. And then there's local organizations like Power Up, that I'm a part of. That's actually how I got involved with the city. I went to my first city council meeting because of Power Up. I started speaking because of Power Up. I went through the North Carolina League of Conservation Voters, power boards for democracy, boards and commissions fellowship. It's a long title. Oh my goodness. But their boards and commissions fellowship 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, in 2023, so that I could have learn about the experience of serving on a board or commission, on a city or county board or commission. And so I can't forget Power Up, but so save the best for last, right? And so that is really what I wanted to share today, because I think those groups are important to get involved, to share your voice, find out how you can share your voice. Another thing I do want to mention is that the city council holds public comment period twice a month. And so if you go onto the city website, or even just Google City of Raleigh public comment period or public comment session, it'll tell you when those are, so that you can get more details, because they're the second Tuesday, which is an isolated Tuesday just for public comment. And it's at 7:00 at night. You can you can also send an email. You can leave a phone call for public comment. I've never heard them play those, but apparently they listen to them. I do know that for sure, because I had somebody who called about something and they told me that they got a response. And so that's another thing that's really important as far as engaging with the city. Public comment period is really important. There's a very short window of time. Well, it's a less than a 2-week period of time, if I'm not mistaken. I think it opens 2 Wednesdays before the Tuesday, so almost 2 weeks before the Tuesday, and you have until the Friday before to sign up. So that is that's important to note. But again, it would be much wiser to go onto the city website to find out exactly when. If you click if you come to public comment and go sign up to speak, it'll show you the options you have. The other option is the third Tuesday. It's the beginning of their afternoon session, so it's right before they actually are going into doing city business. And so you can also do that. That one's at 1:00. But those, again, if you go onto the website and it's not time to sign up for it, it will tell you like when it will open specifically. I don't want to lead you astray. And I think that's it for this segment of Educate the Vote, because in the next few segments are going to be me going through the two sharing clips of the two candidates forums that are online, that are on YouTube, and giving some backstory where necessary to some of the things, or clarifying, because the candidates only have a short amount of time to give their perspective. And I'm also going to give mine from what I've learned, if you don't mind. Yeah, I think it's good to have that other voice, because I'm the one that's doing Educate the Vote. So you can have my perspective of how I've been educated by this experience, or the experience of being involved. And I've only been involved for 3 years. I think I've mentioned that in one of the other videos. So it's not like I'm a big end all, know it all, not by any stretch of the imagination. But this is important enough for me to share, because I haven't always voted. And because I haven't always voted, then I knew that I couldn't complain about the things that I see happening. So now that I'm engaged, it's not just about voting. It's about being a part of the process that creates change. And that's what this is. This is my invitation to you to join me in the process of creating change, and that we put more public servants in office than politicians, because there is a difference. And I think that's the greatest lesson that I've been learning. There's a huge difference between public servants and politicians. And just the two words, there should be some clarity about what they each mean. And so I just want to say thank you again for joining me. I hope this has been helpful. I will provide links in the description of the video so that you can find out what you need. It's also in my digital business card, a lot of the links to these. And so I hope you'll check that out, because it does have more information. But other than that, I'm grateful that you're here, grateful for this opportunity to share, and just wish you magnified success in all you're pursuing. Enjoy the amazing day you're creating. Peace.